with the body of business. And the first item is the approval of the meeting agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Support.
Thank you. It's been moved and properly supported. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion has been approved. The agenda is approved. And now we move on to the item 4, which is the approval of the meeting minutes of January 13th, 2026. Is there a motion?
I move that the minutes be adopted as presented.
Support.
Thank you. Moved and properly supported. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion has been approved. We'll now move on to public participation. And if I could turn it over to the appropriate team member to make the announcements and get us moving there.
To make a comment, please raise your hand by using the raise hand icon on your desktop or mobile device using the Zoom app. If you are calling into the meeting by phone, press *9 to raise your hand. During public comment, after your name is called, you will be given permission to unmute. In order to begin speaking, you will have to unmute yourself. To do so, press the unmute button, which is the microphone icon, if you're online or on the Zoom app, or *6 if you're calling in. At the beginning of your comment, please share your full name and the community or neighborhood you live, work in, or are representing. The timer will start after your introduction. You will have a limit of 3 minutes to make your comment, and please keep your comments to public comment. This is not an opportunity to request information or data, which can be done through the city website and Legistar. If you make a comment, and in order for DWSD staff to follow up with you, we kindly request you complete the comment card link located with the Board of Water Commissioners meeting event posted on the DWSD homepage at detroitmi.gov/DWSD. You will only be called upon once. Once the chair closes public comment, there will be no other comments from the public, and all attendees will remain muted for the duration of the committee meeting. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Okay, we'll proceed. Do we have anyone that's queued up for public?
Madam Chair, we have one hand raised at the moment. That is Gwendolyn Howard. Gwendolyn Howard, you can unmute yourself at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Howard, the floor is yours. Ms. Howard?
Ms. Howard, it looks like you're, there you go.
I hear you.
Okay, we can hear you now. Please proceed. Ms. Howard, are you on mute?
Madam Chair, it shows that Ms. Howard has left the panelist.
Okay. All right. Well, if
Madam Chair, we have one additional hand that was just raised, Norel Hemphill. Norel Hemphill, you can unmute yourself at this time.
Ms. Hemphill.
Yeah. Peace and blessings. I just had a really quick question. I know it's budget season. When will the budget be finalized for DWSD that will be presented to City Council?
So I know that
Madam Chair, if I may.
yes, we have Istakar, our CFO.
Yes. So today we are going to present the preliminary budget to the Finance Committee. The final will not be final until we have GLWA's final numbers, which we are expecting by the end of February. So we are expecting everything, the final report, to go to the City Council by 3rd week of March.
Thank you. Very good. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
At this point, Ms. Hemphill.
Yep, Madam Chair, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I can see the screen. It is that Ms. Hemphill has left the room.
Okay.
And so we have another hand raised at this time. That is Miko Williams. Miko Williams, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you. Mr. Williams.
Yes, hello, good afternoon. Can I be heard, please?
Yes.
Yes, you may.
Yes, hi, D'Amico Williams, Chief Executive Director of Hydrate Detroit. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization that helps provide advocacy, consultation, and payment of water bills to residents in the city of Detroit that are having hardships with keeping their water services connected. We have worked very hard over the years to keep residents in the city of Detroit connected to clean running water and also to keep it at a price that we could afford. Right now, we are in very shaky times. These water main breaks. I just want to send my prayers and to the residents that are dealing with water main breaks and pipe burstings. It has been a very cold winter, and I also want to send my strong thank yous to the men and women of the Detroit Water and Sewage Department workers, contractors that are out there trying to mitigate the problem and trying to restore everyone in a timely manner. Just ask everybody to be patient. These temperatures get colder and colder, and we're supposed to have some more colder temperatures as well. But I'm also becoming concerned. Around the time where we spoke about repairs and how much they cost and where we're going to get the money from, that our rates are raised, dealing with the GOWA situation. I just happen to harken back to DWSD and our own issues. When we owned the water and sewage department, we were on top of many issues that arise and came up, and we did a good job at handling them in-house, in city, and also in other places where we were contracted to be. Since the GOWA takeover and their partnership, so-called partnership, with the leasing that we pay for, we have not gotten quality service. We have not gotten quality exceptional leadership to handle many of the issues around the region. This is around 125 communities, but most definitely in the city of Detroit, where DWSD is supposed to be on top of, but it's a partnership between GOWA that's supposed to provide backup. I'm not sure where we are in the partnership and what the details uh, surrounding the financial concerns about when water main breaks happen versus um, major projects that still I maybe I need to refer this also to the capital improvement, and I'll follow up more in the capital improvement, but I'm just worried about the cost of how much this is going to hit us right now in the pockets. We don't have the money. Thank you so much for taking my comments. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Is there another hand that's raised?
Madam Chair, there are no additional hands raised at this time.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
good morning.
Good morning, Director.
Afternoon, it's 1 o'clock now.
Yeah.
I got notified this morning that the mayor has selected a new board member to replace Lane Coleman. And so I've asked him if he could come on this afternoon and just introduce himself. I know that our chair has already met him, but I know that you have not. And so we'll be asking or polling informally all the board members regarding your availability on Monday to have a special session, to have him sworn in so that we can get him outfitted on the committees as well as the new audit committee that is being proposed. And so could I just ask, I saw that he was on a minute ago, if he's still on, if he could just maybe introduce himself. We didn't expect him to stay on for all of the meetings on very short notice, but I did see him on a little earlier, and if he's still on, if he would just maybe introduce himself to the members of the Finance Committee.
Oh, thank you, Director Brown. Is our new member on? You hear us? We
Uh,
can't hear or see you yet.
Yeah, he
Oh,
may,
I think I see him. I see you're on mute. Um,
I'm
oh,
still here. Thank you,
oh,
Gary. I'm not sure if everyone
welcome.
can hear me.
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you. Welcome.
Awesome. I really appreciate the opportunity. My name is Adamola Fagade. Very happy to be a part of this very forward-thinking community. I'm very honored to learn about next steps. I decided to come aboard to get a feel of how these meetings are ran, so I can start to bring some value to the team. So I'm very happy to serve and very available to do the next steps, which I believe you said the swearing in. And I apologize. I'm currently at a client's facility at DTE, and the Wi-Fi is kind of spotty. If you could.
Yeah, yeah. Adewale, we're gonna poll the members today. They're
Yes.
on several different committees. Make sure that we can get a quorum. And
Okay.
hopefully Monday, if Monday works for enough board members to get a quorum, we'll make sure that the city clerk is available to get you sworn in.
Okay.
And by then, the chair, Mike Einhauser, who does the assignments of committees, will let you know what committees, you'll be serving on. And then we can go from there. So I do appreciate you. I know that you're busy today. We don't expect you to stay on such short notice. But I'm glad that you were able to jump on and let people put a face with a name and know that we're going to have a full board at the next board meeting.
I'm very honored, Gary. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We look forward to working with you. And I know that this Board of Commissioners is always willing and able to answer any questions that you might have as we move along.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda. Nice to meet everyone here. Looking forward to getting to know you better.
Great. Okay, thank you, Gary. We will move on then down our agenda to communications. And in item 6.A, we do have some correspondence that we need to receive and file if there is a motion.
I would so move.
Support.
It's been moved and properly supported. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is approved. Item 7, we have no unfinished business. So we'll move on to new business. And the first item is A 2025-37. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Yes, Commissioner.
we're at 2026-37, item A. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Madam Chair, thank you. I would move that the Finance Committee for the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the director to approve purchase order number 3090197 with AIS Construction Equipment Corporation to provide 3 new John Deere 35P tier mini excavators with trailers and attachments for a total purchase not to exceed the amount of $338,328, and authorizes the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Support.
Thank you. Moved and properly supported. Ms. Welch, if you could provide some context for us.
Yes, good afternoon. This is a sole source contract with AIS Construction Equipment to provide 3 new mini excavators. These are a replacement to our current out of service equipment in the fleet. And these components are frequently used by our field crews to excavate in small compact areas. It allows them to have a more safer way to dig to avoid hitting underground assets. This vendor has agreed, even though they are a sole source, to offer DWSD the cooperative pricing at a discount for this purchase. Procurement has received a sole source letter from the vendor indicating that they are a distributor for our metropolitan area. And due to DWSD's procurement policy, we don't competitively bid for sole source purchases. So at this time, procurement is recommending to the Finance Committee to approve and move to full board with recommendation.
Thank you. Are there questions, comments? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion is approved, and we'll move on to item B, 2026-38.
Madam Chair, I would move that the Finance Committee recommend to the full commission the approval of DWSD contract 6007662, project WS 754, with LGC Global Inc. for lead service line replacement in the neighborhood of Cadillac Heights for a total amount not to exceed $7,779,955 for a term of 2 years, and authorize the director to take appropriate actions to accomplish the intent.
There's been a motion and support for the motion for this total contract amount of $7,977,955.
I stand corrected. Thank you.
I will turn it over to Ms. Welch to provide us some additional details.
Yes, this is an SRF funded lead service line contract to replace approximately 1,000 lead service lines in the area of Cadillac Heights. DWSD, as everyone is aware, approximately has 80,000 lead service lines where we have to orchestrate replacement. I believe to date that we have completed in our repair efforts are somewhere around the 12,000 number. And so this is one of some additional contracts that will be coming before you for approval so that we can continue those efforts so that we meet our goals and our service levels to replace the lead service lines with copper lines. Procurement did advertise 4 bids for 47 days. We received 11 responses for this bid. LGC was the lowest responsive bidder. LGC is one of Detroit's certified businesses. And so at this time, procurement is recommending to the Finance Committee for your approval and movement to full board.
Thank you, Ms. Welch. Are there any questions or comments? Just note, as you've mentioned, that this is SRF funded, and so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, there are no other questions or comments. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That motion is approved. We'll move to item C, 2026-39. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair?
Commissioner Davis?
Yes, I move that the Finance Committee for the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department authorizes the director to approve DWSD contract number 6007689 with EJUSA Inc., formerly known as East Jordan, for fire hydrant conversions and breakable parts for a total contract amount not to exceed $5,616,746.38 and a term of 2 years. This also authorizes the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Thank you. Ms. Welch?
Yes, this is a warehouse replacement contract for fire hydrants and all of the associated parts with EJUSA. This is another sole source contract, so procurement does not advertise for these contracts according to our policy. EJUSA is the only authorized manufacturer and distributor for DWSD's fire hydrants, conversion, and breakable parts. And procurement has received an updated sole source letter for this vendor indicating such. The current contract expires in February of 2027, and this contract presents an increase of roughly about $750,000. We try to bid them out every 2 years, just to, get the price in and see if anything else comes back, if there's anyone else. We are internally working together as a team to try to work on specifications on how we can get more vendors in here for this work. But at the time, EJUSA is our sole source manufacturer for these parts. And so we're presenting it to the Finance Committee so that we can continue to replenish stock and not have any impacts to operations for your approval and movement to full board.
Thank you. Are there questions or comments? I just have one. I would continue to encourage you to move ahead to identify possible additional vendors for this particular contract. And I appreciate that I know that the procurement is following suit on that order. Okay, are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion is approved. Let's move on to item D, 2026-42. And is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I would move that the committee recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners approval of DWSD contract 6007677, a piggyback of COD contract 6007742 with power lighting and technical services for electrical services for a total annual contract not to exceed $1,450,000 and a term of 31 months, and authorize the director to take whatever actions necessary to accomplish this.
Thank you, Chair. It's been moved and properly supported. Thank you, Commissioner Davis. And we have two that are going to present additional details for us.
Yes, I'll be presenting on behalf of the department commissioner. This is a piggyback contract for as-needed services with power lighting. The existing contract has been executed through the City of Detroit's procurement department. This contract will be shared between 3 of DWSD's divisions, which is the IT division, the facility division, as well as field services, for a combined total contract amount of $1.4 million. The contract is a little bit over two and a half years, so 31 months to be average, so that it aligns with the terms, conditions of the existing contract that the city holds. The city did advertise this contract for proposals for 14 days. The proposals were evaluated, and power lighting, was ranked the highest. The previous mayor administration approved the contract in August of 2025, and the city council approved the contract in September of 2025. Some of the work that will be performed under this contract is not limited to some vault wiring and electrical connections, antenna repairs for cellular collector units, electrical and mechanical replacements related to utility damages and asset repairs, as well as low voltage infrastructure services, service breaker repairs, and electrical panel upgrades. Power lighting is another not DWSD, but City of Detroit certified business. They have agreed to this piggyback contract and have indicated that their services that they will be providing to DWSD will not impact the services that they currently provide to the City of Detroit. They have presented all of the information that makes them doing business with us valid. And so at this time, we are presenting it to Finance for review, approval, and recommendation to the full board.
Thank you, Ms. Welch. Are there questions or comments? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion is approved. We'll move now on to item E, and we'll begin to move into financial review and then a look at the preliminary operating budget after that. But I'm going to turn it over to our CFO, Mr. Rahman, and if you could begin on the November 2025 monthly financial review.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Good afternoon, Madam Chair. Istakar Rahman, Chief Financial Officer, DWSD. Today, I'll be presenting the financial results or the highlights for the month of November 2025. The first slide here, again, summarizing our cash position as of November. We obviously continue to maintain adequate cash reserve to support both our operating as well as our capital programs on a system-wide basis. As of November, we had almost $250 million. $95 million of that is in the water fund and $155 million in the sewer fund. This represents an overall decrease of $9.8 million when you compare it to the October balance. And the decrease is mainly due to disbursements for capital projects that were on hold for a few months that were all settled in the month of November. And all of this decrease, as you'll see coming up in the next slides, is coming out of the sewer I&E cash account. Operating cash accounts for both water and sewer are pretty steady. The usual variances, nothing alarming there. Next slide, we will talk about improvement and extension. Cash position here. Our water I&E cash at $34.3 million at month end is hardly any change, no real change for that month. In the sewer fund, as I mentioned before, it decreased $6.3 million. All of that is related to capital disbursements or disbursements for capital expenditures incurred in the previous months. The construction accounts are quiet, no real change in the construction accounts for the month. As we all understand, these are winter months and lower level of activities in the construction world. As a result, hasn't been too many disbursements out of these construction cash accounts. So the cash balances are holding pretty steady when you compare to previous months. Cash held in trust. This is the account that we have, the GLWA holds on our behalf. That amounted to $33.3 million. It's a slight decrease of $1.2 million compared to October. Retail water receipts of $9.5 million for the month fell short of the October receipts of $12.5 million. And it also fell short of our target collection by $1.1 million. So for the water fund, our target collection, target collection is $10.6 million, which is really our working capital needs for that month. In the sewer cash with GLWA, we had $51.2 million at the end of the month. Also a decrease of $3.4 million over October balance. When you look at the retail receipts, we had $22.6 million coming in during the month of November, which was lower than what we had in October, which was $28.5 million. It also fell short of our target collection, which is our operating needs for the month. And that amount is $26 million for the month of November. Generally speaking, as you'll see in the slides coming up, November's collections have been lower compared to October, and there are a couple of reasons for that, and I'll go through them as we walk through the slides. Moving on to accounts receivable, our November sales were slight decrease from October, say about 2.5%. Receivables as of November, we had $341.7 million for all our active accounts. And this is an increase of 11.4, or roughly 3.4% compared to October. The increase was across the board for all customer class, not just one class. Our overall cash collection for the month was $32.4 million, and it decreased by $9.1 million on a comparative basis, roughly 21.9%. As I said, the decrease, even for collection, was across the board for all our customer classes. And majority of this variance is because of timing difference. Sometimes we receive more payments in one month and not the next. Especially with our industrial, commercial, and government class of customers, they tend to vary in terms of months when sometimes they pay heavily in one month and sometimes little bit less in the following month. So this all variance could be attributed to timing difference because we saw that again in December collections picked up. So I'm not alarmingly concerned at this point. As you all know, that we continue to monitor our receivable balance and appropriate allowances are made as and when deemed necessary for uncertainty of collections. Active receivables, residential receivable increased by $5 million, roughly 2.1%. And our number of days in AR, which is the accounts receivable, stood at increased by 21 days in November. Next slide, it highlights our collection rates over time. As I mentioned before, November saw a significant decrease in collection across all customer classes. If you look at the third column under November, you see those percentages are fairly lower compared to either September or October. Residential collection rate for November fell to 76%. And the 3-month average was 83.1. Generally, residential customer collections have been in the mid-80s, especially due to our Easy Pay program, which contributes significantly to boosting the collection rate. But overall, again, October collection was much higher. Commercial and industrial, generally speaking, in the mid-90s. Again, November collections were slightly lower. But again, as I said, mostly because of timing differences we'll probably not be concerned about 1 month's collection here. Government and tax exempt fell in November, but the 3-month average stayed in the low 90s. On an overall basis, November combined collection rate of 78.1% for all our active customers. In October, it was 95.7. And if you look at the 3-month moving average for all our customer classes, it stood at 87%. Switching gears to our commodity matrix and revenues. Generally speaking, volume and revenue for the month exceeded budgeted expectation, whereas the year-to-date numbers are slightly down when we compare to the budget. But no significant changes either in water volume or water commodity revenues. Survey charges, water meter equivalents, and associated revenues exceed budget marginally, both for the month as well as for the year to date. Very steady results here. Even if you look at the year-to-date numbers, it's exceeding the budget, even though small numbers, but it's still keeping pace with our expectations. Sewer commodity revenues and matrix in terms of volume fell short of the budget. Again, not by a whole lot. All of that below 2% or 2.5%. Year-to-date metrics also slightly lower than our expectation, which is our budget. Once again, winter months, we do have a slight variation, but again, the variations are not alarmingly significant. Same story with the water, sewer meter counts, as well as the associated revenues exceeded the budget marginally. Year-to-date matrix also beat the budget expectations. And finally, for November, we look at the drainage charge matrix and revenues. Our billable impervious acres fell short of the budget by 2.7% for the month. But when you compare it to October, it was kind of steady in actual BIA and was 0.4% marginally below November of last year. On a year-to-date basis, BIA was 3.4% below budget. When you look at the revenue side, we exceeded the budget by 1.3% and was actually higher than October by 5.0%. For drainage charges, year-to-date actual remained at 3.4% below budget as of November. So that's a short presentation of November results. Any questions? So,
Thank you very much for the presentation. Are there any questions, comments? Seeing none, we'll move on then to our next agenda item, which is the preliminary look at the budget.
okay. Good afternoon again. This is the presentation of our preliminary FY 2027 operating budget. We call it preliminary because some of these numbers could change, and a lot depends on the finalization of Great Lakes Water Authority's wholesale charges, which we're expecting by the end of this month will be finalized. As you know, it impacts us directly. So depending on what their final numbers would be, we'll have to adjust our budget accordingly. But on a preliminary basis, I'll go through what we have as of today. When we are preparing our budget, the executive team here at DWSD consider several factors that has a direct impact on the budget. Affordability for sure is at the very top of our consideration. We keep rate increases. We try to keep rate increases below 4%, and then also support water conservation initiatives. Equally important is customer service. We believe in compassionate and responsive customer service. This has been the philosophy of DWSD. Other factors that are important to us when we are preparing the budget is public health. We operate and support and preserve public health. But we certainly our goal is to strive and meet and exceed all federal, state, and local regulations. Employee safety is another key considerations when we start working on our budget. Even though this is in a CIP, water and sewer upgrades is critical for us, especially in that service line replacement. Also, that goes into significant consideration in our budget preparation. And finally, employee focus. We cannot undermine the importance of our working people, staff, training, retention, and recruitment of talented people is certainly a very important consideration in coming up with our budget. I'll also want to go through some highlights in our current budget environment. These are at a very high level. As you see, the proposed FY 2027 operating budget was developed with the goal to keep rates affordable, and at the same time, we did not want to compromise on our service level initiatives. The budget incorporates all expenditures required to operate DWSD's systems, which is the water and sewer system, on an overall basis for FY 27. These expenditures that are necessary to keep the system running collectively becomes the basis for our revenue requirement. And the total system-wide revenue requirement increased by 5%, as you will see in the slides following this slide. Roughly $26 million is what we have increased compared to 2026. There are two different cost buckets. One is departmental. We also call it direct expense. That increased by 5%, roughly $5.6 million over FY 26. And the second bucket, which is non-departmental expense, or we also call it indirect expenses, also increased by 5%, roughly $20.5 million. Revenue finance capital is the capital that we generate out of our operating budget that could become available for pay-as-you-go capital projects. That is a reduction of $900,000 over FY 26 and stood at $2.5 million. The increase in revenue requirement of $26 million over 26, as you will see, is primarily due to increase in GLWA's wholesale charges. So GLWA's wholesale charges, based on the preliminary amounts or numbers that were provided to us a couple of weeks ago, increased $17.3 million, so roughly 66.5% of our revenue requirement. Bad debt increased by $3.5 million, roughly 13 or 14%. And personal expense, which is salaries, wages, and employee benefits, increased by $4.8 million of 18.5. The reason for personal cost increase is due to the addition of 15 new net positions. These new positions are primarily for operations and are critical to improving DWSD service level as well as backlog reduction. So on a total system-wide basis, our revenue requirements was $547.4 million. This will be offset by a non-rate revenue of $26.4 million, leaving us a rate revenue requirement of $521 million. On an overall basis, this represents a 5.2% increase for our initial rate revenue on a system-wide basis. I just want to bring this that the final rate revenue increase and eventually the rate for FY27 will be determined once we complete our volume data analysis and will be presented to the Finance Committee in our March meeting, in our Finance Committee meeting in March. So today what I'm presenting is just the increase in revenue requirements, but once the volume data analysis is completed, that will be offset against the revenue requirements. That will give us the final rate revenue and rates for FY27. So that's on a high level summary. And then I'll go through the slides quickly because all of the summary actually point out to these numbers here. So what makes up our revenue requirements are three components. As I said, one is departmental expenses or direct expenses. The non-departmental expenses is the second big component, and then we have revenue finance capital. As you see on the slide, revenue requirement is financed both by retail revenue as well as non-retail revenues. Fund-wise, water fund will increase by 4.5%. And then the sewer fund would increase by 5.2% with an overall system-wide revenue requirement increase of 5%. This is just a graphical presentation of where we stand in terms of our three major components. As you can see, departmental expenses is 22%. Departmental expenses are expenses over which DWSD truly has control over, but that represents only 22%. Non-departmental expenses, which makes up 78% of our budget, is a category of expenses over which we, DWSD, have very little or no control. Wholesale charges is one of the components within that category over which we really do not have much control. Next slide is summarizing for you what makes up our departmental expenses. These are expenses by object categories. And as I said, these are the expenses that we have control over in terms of setting the budget. The biggest increase you see here is for salaries and employee benefits. And the reason is mainly because we implemented a new compensation study in FY26, which kind of boosted the salaries and compensation for many of our employees. And also there was an increase in fringe benefit rates, and fringe benefit rates is something that we do not control. It comes from the city of Detroit. And the third reason for increase in personnel cost is the new 15 FTEs that we are bringing on to strengthen service level efforts here at DWSD. This is the pie chart of what makes up or what percentage of each category. As you'll see again, personnel costs make up 54% of our overall departmental expenses. Here is the non-departmental, the second category of expenses. This increased by $20.5 million over 2026. $17.3 million of that $20 million is due to GLWA's revenue requirement, which is 7.1% on a net basis. Bad debt increased by $3.5 million. Again, bad debt is based on our collection history and our collection patterns. But I'd like to point out there has been no change to our bad debt percentage in 2027 versus the 2026, where you're using the same percentage this year as we did for last year. The pie chart, you see the large blue portion in this pie chart is all wholesale charges, make up 61% of our non-departmental expenses. Again, significant component of our budget. Second biggest here is bad debt, and then followed by, I'm sorry, the second biggest is our pre and post bifurcation debt. Debt service that we have no control over. This is for debt that we borrowed even before bifurcation, and some debt after bifurcation, but debt service is uncontrollable. And the third biggest piece is the bad debt, which makes up 17% of our total non-departmental expenses. Water fund revenue requirements is mainly composed of three, as I said, retail revenue as well as non-retail revenue. When you look at the retail revenue, it's composed of our commodity sales, our drainage charge, fire and revenue, as well as permits and fees. Non-retail revenue is something that does not relate to operations, but are like charges like GLWA share of legal costs, or IWC, which is industrial waste charges, as well as search services revenue. So if you take all of our retail revenue and you back out the non-retail revenue, that actually gives us a good picture of where we stand in terms of our various revenue components. Component of rate revenue, again, the four major categories are commodity charges, which is volume, service charge revenues, fire line, and drainage charges. If we take the rate revenue determination, we'll take the total revenue requirement and we back out all the non-rate categories of revenue, such as shared services, GLWA share, or pension. We back it out from the revenue requirement to arrive at the net rate revenue requirement. So this is the number that is critical for us when we finally come to determining our rates for FY 2027. As I mentioned before, it's important for us to remember that the increased rate revenue requirement will be offset by projected increase in volume for all the categories like water, fire line, sewer, as well as drainage charges. It's a graphical one for what makes up the biggest chunk here is commodity charges, which is really our volume sales, and that makes up the biggest 49% of our rate revenue requirement. Drainage charge follows second with 42% of the share. This is just a summary of our revenues and expenses by fund. This represents the water fund, and the next one represents the sewer fund. And then this is the combined water and sewer FTEs. As I mentioned, we are increasing our FTEs by 15. Most of this you'll see are in operations. And there are some reductions and some additions to a total of net 15. We are not increasing any of our lead service staff at this point, nor are we increasing any field engineering, which both are part of our CIP budget. So all of this, what is the impact on our FY 2027 budget? These are some of the major achievements and accomplishments that we've strived for and achieved. Like we cleaned 600 miles of sewer to provide capacity to the current design standards, cleaned the entire system in a 5-year cycle. We inspect and clean 8,000 catch basins to reduce street flooding on an annual basis. Replace at least 3,500 lead service line, 8,000 lines if additional state or federal funding is received, with our goal to remove all the lead service lines within 10 years. We have so far replaced more than 12,000 lines since 2018. That number is more than 15,000, which I will correct in my next presentation. There is a painting of fire hydrants, 5,000, which reduces portion. We have completed the Far West project, detention basins and sewers to remove 100 million gallons of rainwater and snow melt annually from the combined sewer system, and construct and design and complete design of several other stormwater projects. We continue to provide and procure resources to support our affordability program through the Lifeline Plan, and also a very effective payment plan known as Easy Pay, to the benefit of our customers and keeping water services on while improving collection rates. And finally here, I want to summarize the next steps. We will present the final proposed operating budget to this committee on March 4th. Date will be adjusted if we need a special finance committee meeting, and that all depends on the timing of when we receive the final wholesale charges numbers from DWSD. If it gets late in February, we may have to have a special finance committee meeting just for the purpose of reviewing the budget and approving it and recommending to the full board. The volume data and the proposed water and sewer rates, as I mentioned before, will also be presented to the Finance Committee on March 4th, or a special committee date, whichever applies. The Finance Department will then seek the Finance Committee's approval of the FY27 final proposed budget and the rates to the full board, which will take place on March 18, 2026. The City Council will then meet to review our budget that is expected in the third week of March. And finally, our water, sewer, and drainage charge rates for FY27 becomes effective on July 1st, 2026. That concludes my presentation of the preliminary budget. I am more than happy to answer questions.
Thank you very much, Issachar. Are there questions or comments?
No, ma'am.
Yeah,
Madam Chair, I just have a comment.
thank you.
During public comment, I heard one of the members of We the People of Detroit's legal team ask the question, when does our budget go to council? And as you know, the council doesn't approve our budget. This board approves the budget. And as you just heard, the biggest influence on our budget is our wholesale rate. And so the question that is probably appropriate to be asked is, when is the public hearing for the Great Lakes Water Authorities on rates for all 112 different communities? Having your voice heard there would certainly be much more effective than taking it to a body that doesn't approve rates. And I'm not suggesting that it not go to City Council. I'm just suggesting that you may want to look at the date for the Great Lakes Water Authority's public hearing late in February.
I think it's on February 25th.
I'm sorry, say again.
February 25th is the date for the public hearing.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Director Brown, for that really important note. And so the public hearing date, as our CFO has announced, is February 25th, which is the date where public comment is heard on the budget that GLWA will be presenting and expecting. So, hopefully all 112 communities will, be present for that public hearing. And I just can't say strongly enough that this particular charge from GLWA represents 78% of the budget and the requirement for revenue for DWSD. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Are there any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. And I do see that Commissioner Blackman has asked, do we know what time that public comment is on the 25th for GLWA?
Gary, if you know, I do not know the time yet.
Yeah, it's normally 1 o'clock.
Thank you. So 1 o'clock is what we know, but I think, that information will be published on the website, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the planning calendar. I'll just refer to Mr. Rahman to see if there are any other items. I think we're updated and up to date on the planning calendar.
Yes, we are, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other matters to come before the committee? Our next meeting is March 4th, 2026. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Is there support? I will support it. Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, right on time.
Okay,
Great job.
yes. So we got 3 more
Thank you,
minutes.
Marion.
You're welcome. Yes, we do have a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, few more seconds. Okay, the Capital Improvement Program and Operations Committee meeting of the Detroit Board of Water Commissioners will now come to order. Would you please call the roll?
Chairperson Kinlaw,
Present?
Commissioner Garcia,
Present.
Commissioner Davis.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Motion is in order to approve the agenda.
So moved,
So moved, Mr.
Chairman.
Chairman.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? This item stands approved. Now we move to item number 4, approval of the previous meeting minutes of January 13th. A motion is in order to approve the previous meeting minutes.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
It's been moved
Support.
and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed? This item stands approved. Next item on the agenda is item number 5, public participation. And who will be reading the public participation instructions. But before that, before they're read, I would like to ask, is there anyone with their hand raised, or has anyone indicated that they would like to address this committee?
Mr. Chair, we do have one hand that's raised at the moment.
Okay, I'm going without objection, as the public participation guidelines have been issued in the previous meeting I will forego those, the reading of the instructions, unless there is objections by the committee. With there being none, we will now proceed to the first person.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
the only hand raised at the moment is Miko Williams. Miko Williams, you can unmute yourself and begin.
Yes, hello, can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my commissioner, Jonathan Kinlock. How you doing, sir?
Doing great,
And-
doing great. Thank you.
And good afternoon to the rest of the committee members of this committee. My name is D'Amico Williams. I'm the Chief Executive Director of Hydrate Detroit. You all know me. I am the water guy, and I am very much happy to be here and in partnership with this body of the Board of Water Commissioners, the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department, and also to represent the community and make sure that we get information out to our residents so that they are able to stay connected to clean running water. First of all, I just want to say I commend the men and women of the Detroit Water and Sewage Department, the workers that are working on these water main breaks. 51 water main breaks is not, it's really bad. And I just pray for the residents that are able to get their water back connected and running in a timely fashion, and hopefully that the cold will let up. But I am very concerned. I mentioned in the finance meeting about how much are these water main breaks costing us, because we don't have the money, and I'm getting concerned of how much money are we spending for services, contractors, and procurement. But what is the work statuses of these projects, and how much have we spent up to now? Because this is going to be a big cost, including the GLWA's upcoming rate. With their, yes, thank you for putting out that information. I will be at that hearing, and I hope that our director will represent Detroit and keep us affordable at a rate we all can afford. So I want to also address, yesterday the water department was at the city council meeting and was addressing about the water main breaks and water concerns. One of the things was a council member from District 6, Gabriela Santiago Romero, alleged that Southwest Detroit in their flood of last year has not been made whole and have not been concluded of work. I would like to have information or context from the deputy director and the director himself about the status of Southwest Detroit, where we stand right now, and how things are going. I also want to say that my former client, Ruby Riley, is still upset about her flood and the check that was issued that she has not been made whole, and but Southwest Detroit has been compensated and such. We need
Okay,
that's all I have to say. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the committee?
Mr. Chair, there are no other hands raised at this time.
Then public participation is closed. We'll
Mr.
now
Chair?
go to, yes.
Can I just, Director Brown, I just want to set the record kind of straight on just one issue with regards to what was said about the water main breaks. First of all, there are no Detroiters that are out of water. We make them the priority. We fix those breaks as a priority. And so at the close of business every day before the deputy director and I go home, we make sure that there is no one out of water. And I just want to put this number of 51 water main breaks into context. First of all, there are 3,000 miles, 3,000 miles of water mains. 3,000 miles. This is a historic cold snap that we're going through all throughout the region. We have seen in the past as many as 20 water main breaks a day, for as many as 600 in 1 month. And so to have only 51, which is extremely manageable with the number of contractors and employees we have working on the problem, is a testament to all of the investment over the last few years that DWSD has put into the system, the infrastructure, to make it more resilient. And so I know that that number 51 sounds like a lot, and it is, but we have it under control. It's manageable. It's nowhere near the number of water main breaks in recent past winters when we didn't have anywhere near the amount of long-term frost that we have today. So I just want to put that in context, because I think people hear that number 51 and don't realize the size of the city of Detroit, 139 square miles, 3,000 miles of water mains. And we've got this situation under control. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Director. We'll now proceed to item number 6, communications. There are none. Item number 7, unfinished business. There is none. Under item 8, we'll go to 8A, item number 202643. And at this time, a motion is in order.
Mr. Chair,
Member Davis, Commissioner Davis.
I would move that upon recommendation of Samuel A. Smalley, professional engineer and deputy director, that the CIP committee of the Detroit Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewage Department recommends adoption of a final project plan for the Detroit Water and Sewage Department sewer rehabilitation, and designating an authorized project representative, FY 2027, Clean Water State Revolving Fund, CWSRF, and also authorizes the chief financial officer and the director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Is there support? Is there support?
Support,
Okay,
Mr. Chairman.
support by Commissioner Garcia. Who's here to speak to this item?
I am, Mr. Chair, Deputy Director Sam Smalley.
You can proceed. Thank you.
And thank you, Commissioner Henry. We put a lot of imagination into that project title. If you could put that into presentation. Okay, so this is our fiscal year 2027 Clean Water State Revolving Fund presentation. We will be seeking low interest loans for fiscal year 2027. We are well positioned to receive funding based on need. We are a disadvantaged community, also known as significantly overburdened. That status allows us to finance over 20 or 30-year terms, and there has often been a fairly sizable amount of principal forgiveness for many of our clean water state revolving fund projects. Next slide. This project is a $39 million sewer rehabilitation project throughout the city, including but not limited to replacement of sewer mains, cured in place pipe rehabilitation, spot repairs, aka fixing sinkholes or collapses, manhole rehabilitation, restoration of each work site, including grass, concrete, asphalt. All work will be performed within the existing road rights-of-ways and easements, and this will help us to continue the high level of service that we strive to provide for our customers, reducing basement backups, flooding, and cave-ins. Next slide, please. There are always temporary impacts with construction activities, but the benefits or improvements are lasting ones. We are making sure that in avoiding any adverse impacts on historical, archaeological, geographic, cultural, and biological impacts are not anticipated with any of this work. It's necessary to be able to continue the level of service for our local combined sewer system. The project plan describes the specific sewer mains in need of critical replacement or rehabilitation. The total project cost of this project is currently estimated at $39 million, 100% of which is being requested through the Clean Water State Revolving Fund program. Next. Next. So DWSD has a comprehensive asset management program where we go neighborhood by neighborhood, doing comprehensive inspection, assessment, and rehabilitation. We base our actions based on lowering overall risk. We define risk as being the consequence of failure times the probability of failure. We use the condition assessment data to plan and guide our rehabilitation strategies. As Director Brown indicated earlier on the water side, that seems to be giving us some significant benefit in reducing the number of breaks, the water main breaks that one would anticipate with this level of frost and cold that we've had. In the event that 100% grant funding is not secured, we are under no obligation to move forward with the design and construction, although that is probably not anticipated. Next. So we are proposing improvements in all council districts as indicated by the red dashes. And again, this is based on our asset management program doing comprehensive inspection and assessment. Next slide, please. We will be touching all of the listed neighborhoods. You'll excuse me if I don't read them all off, but they are available for viewing. Next slide. So the draft project plan public meeting will be at the board meeting on February 18th. We hope to make the GLWA board meeting with resolution on April 2026, submitting the final project plan to the State Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy in May of 2026. And then award intent announcements are anticipated sometime in September or October of 2026. And then a request for bids published in February with hopefully construction beginning in April of 27. Next slide, please. So we are requesting that this committee recommend to the Board of Water Commissioners the resolution that I believe has been included in this package. Next slide.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Let me just ask you, the final plan that'll be submitted, are you anticipating any substantial changes to what we have typically been looking to address?
No, Commissioner. We're not anticipating any significant changes.
Okay. Okay, so there being no further questions, we'll now vote. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? This item stands approved. I see, okay, I see the resolution is on the screen. Let me just say, is there any reason that it's being, so this is the resolution that we voted on and adopted? Okay. Thank you. Have the agenda.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
we do have to recess and open up the customer service meeting at this moment. We'll come back.
Okay, at this
CIP.
time, yes, thank you. At this time, we will recess to the call of the chair.
Much. I would like to call to order the Customer Service Committee meeting and ask for a roll call, please.
Chairperson Blackman.
Present.
Commissioner Garcia.
Present.
Commissioner Forte.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Present, and we will recess this meeting to the call of the chair.
Thank you. We will now reconvene the CIPO committee meeting. And at this time, we'll now go to item 8B. That's item 26-44. And at this time, I would like to entertain a motion for item B. Member Commissioner Davis.
Yes, upon recommendation of Samuel Smalley, professional engineer, deputy director of the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit, Water and Sewage Department, recommends adoption of the A final project plan for the Detroit Water and Sewage Department water main replacement and rehabilitation, and designating an authorized project representative, fiscal year 2027 Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, DWSRF, and also authorizes the Chief Financial Officer and the Director to take such other action as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Who will be speaking to this item?
I will, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
This is the fiscal year 2027 Drinking Water State Revolving Fund project plan. We will be seeking low interest loans for fiscal year 2027. We are again well positioned to receive funding based on need. We are a disadvantaged community, also categorized as significantly overburdened. This allows us to finance any loans over a 30 to 40-year period instead of the standard 20-year, and there is often principal forgiveness with many of our drinking water state revolving fund projects. Next slide. This project plan includes 2 water main replacement projects and 3 lead service line replacement projects for a total of $70 million. The improvements will include, but are not limited to, excavation of existing water mains, hydro excavating of service lines, installation of new pipes, and/or rehabilitation of existing pipes, replacement of lead service lines, pressure testing, and grass, concrete, asphalt restoration at work sites. The majority of the work will be completed within the rights of way, except for lead service line replacements, which are on private property. The impact of the project will be improved customer service and safe, reliable delivery of potable water to our customers while reducing lead risk exposure. Next slide.
Question, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Member Garcia.
Yes, I just wanted to know, is this for the total residents of the whole city residents, or just replacements that we haven't done for the future? I mean, because I know we've done a lot in the last several years. I don't know about all the homes, but I know we've done a lot of replacements in that. Sam, so I just wanted to know, is this for the remainder of all the residents of the city of Detroit?
Thank you for the question, Commissioner. We believe that we have approximately 70,000 lead service lines left to
Okay.
address throughout the city. We do have a map showing the first 43,000 services that we want to address based on vulnerable populations, low-income areas, things of that nature, trying to reduce the risk to our most vulnerable populations. The 30 million should be able to get us about 3,000, maybe 3,500 lead service lines, well short of obviously the 70,000 that remain. The water main replacements, again, are part of our asset management program, trying to reduce the overall risk to DWSD and to our customers by addressing those most aged and or deteriorated assets.
Is the water main, another question, Sam, the water mains that were reported this past week, whole cold water, frozen, whatever, those were just main water mains. They weren't mains that were connected to, or were they mains that provided water to the residents in that area? Because I wasn't sure when they announced all the water mains, I wasn't sure if there was a lot of residents. It seemed to be like it was more on the east side where you have less residents. I wasn't sure, so I thought I was going to ask that.
I don't want to get blamed for favoring east side or west side, but the
Okay.
have been very consistently spread across the entire city. The freezing of pipes is typically associated with household plumbing. If there is a lack of heat or only a little bit of heat within a structure, the household plumbing will freeze. Once it freezes, the ice will expand inside and will cause breaks to valves, meters, pipes within the house. At the
pipe connected to the homes?
Pipes, plumbing inside the house. So at one point when it was very, very frigid, we were getting up to 30 of those a day. That number has slowed down, but we still have, as of this morning, 21 customer requested shuts to complete, which are likely burst piping inside houses. The water main breaks in the street typically do not freeze the mains. The ice will accumulate on the surface. And we have a little over 100 locations that we are maintaining around the clock with 5 contractor crews and also assistance from DPW helping us with salting. We are removing the ice and accumulation around the clock.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Does that conclude your presentation?
I'm almost there.
Okay, continue.
So the project plan describes those water mains most in need of rehabilitation. We're estimating $70 million overall, 20 million for water main replacement project A, 20 million for replacement project B, and 10 million for each of the 3 lead service line projects. Next slide, please. So we are anticipating rehabilitating about 30,000 linear feet or a little over 5.5 miles of cast iron water mains, typically size 6 to 8 inches in diameter. The project location south of 6, Rosedale Park, Grandmont number 1, Hubble, Puritan, Belmont. Next slide, please. This is a map of the locations for project A or WS 757. Next slide, please. Project B is another 28,000 or almost 5.5 miles of vintage cast iron mains with an estimated cost of 20 million at the locations indicated below. Next slide, please. And these are the specific streets that we will be working on.
I have another question, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Garcia?
Yeah, Sam, I guess one of the questions that I like to ask is that we do have residents that have insurance, right? And when something goes wrong between the main pipe and their home, when they repair it, they use all new piping, right? That's required. Am I correct?
DWSD is required to comply with the state's Public Act 399. So if it was a lead service line and we were doing a repair or a replacement, we would be mandated by law to do a full replacement. Per Eagle, the state, a homeowner is not necessarily required, if they wanted to do their own service line replacement, would not necessarily be required to do the entire thing. Although it is highly recommended, because every time you touch, cut, disturb, or annoy a lead service line, you increase the risk of
Right.
lead particles into the drinking water.
Okay, I guess the question is also is that a lot of the homeowners have taken up that insurance that we strongly recommended for people. Though, are they also have to abide by the rules and regulation of the requirement? Am I correct?
I believe that they are working on behalf of the customer, not on behalf of us.
Okay.
We could certainly get a formal legal opinion on that, and bring it back to this committee if you like.
Yeah, I really would, because I think it's very important that I know I keep pushing that they get insurance, because a lot of people cannot afford paying $10,000 or something, but later on, I mean, $99 a year is not bad. I know they're raising the price now, but at least I just want to require, you know, because I know that when I talked to someone, they were just saying that they've been overwhelmed with claims, which has brought up the price. But, you know, they knew the city was old. I just wanted to make sure I was asking that question. Thank you, Sam.
You're welcome. So each of the three projects estimates replacing 1,000 lead service lines. We use a ballpark number of 10,000 per service line. Although the finance committee approved a project, or recommended approval of a project earlier today that was just under 8 million for the same number of service lines. So the prices may actually be coming down, but we are estimating the overall cost of 30 million for the 3,000 lead service lines. Next slide, please. These are the locations where you see the orange or yellowish flags. Next slide, please. So we're asking for the project plan to be approved by the board on February 18th, the GLWA board and resolution on May 27th, the final project plan submitted to the state in June of this year, and Eagle SRF award intent announcements anticipated in September or October, with their request for bids published sometime in February of 27, with hopefully construction beginning in April of 27. Next slide, please. So we are requesting that the resolution be recommended by this committee for full board approval.
Okay.
Happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you, Sam. Okay, at this time, we will now vote on this item number 2026-44. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item on the agenda is item number 9, planning calendar. And we will have facilities annual update that has been rescheduled into our March meeting. And item number 10, other matters, I know of none. Our next meeting will be March 4th, 2026. At this time, a motion is in order to adjourn.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We'll now resume the Customer Service Committee meeting. I believe we're now at the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved, Madam Chair.
Moved by Member Garcia, supported by, I will support that we approve the agenda as presented. I thought we had an amendment to the agenda. Do we, Mr.? Is it the approval? Will your report come under, Mr. Phillips? Will your report come under the regular committee meeting agenda, or do we need to approve the agenda?
All my items are in the current agenda under item number 8, new business.
Thank you, sir. Then all those in favor, please, of approving the agenda, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next item is the approval of the minutes of January 13th, 2026. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by
Support.
Forte, seconded by Commissioner Garcia. Hearing no corrections, all those in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Next item is public participation. Is there anyone who has indicated desire to speak before this committee? Mr. Phillips.
Madam Chair, there are 3 individuals that have raised their hand at the moment. The first individual that has their hand raised is Cecily McClellan. Ms. McClellan, you can unmute yourself and begin speaking.
Welcome, Ms. McClellan.
Thank you. Welcome. I appreciate it, the opportunity to speak for we, the people of Detroit. It was really exciting to hear last week during the GLEWA meeting that now the H2O program, based on Mr. Brown, would now allow persons to enroll that had an arrearage. This is really exciting information. As we have indicated, almost everyone that we come in contact with who needs a water affordability or assistance, they have an arrearage, and that's usually the reason that they're seeking assistance. So this program could not come soon enough. Additionally, there are other issues I think that need to be addressed. It has been in the policy statement, it has been striked out that no longer arrearage would be a reason to prevent a person from entering the program. But unfortunately, it has not been indicated on your webpage, in your guidelines, in your criteria. And I'm also wondering whether or not those persons that have applied for the Detroit Lifeline H2O program that were denied because they had arrearage, will there be attempts to reach out and contact those individuals and have them reapply? And also, will there be notification that will go out in the bills or in a separate notification allowing those persons with arrearage to now apply for this program? And when, we'd just like to know, when will these changes be consistent throughout the documents on the webpage, in your guidelines, and also on your policy document? But again, we are real excited. We find that most persons that need assistance are because they do have an arrearage. So we appreciate that the citizens' voices are being heard. And now there will be a program that will take into consideration those who have not been able to afford their water bills. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. McClellan, and I'm sure we'll hear from Mr. Phillips in his report more information about that. So thank you very much. Is there anyone else who's indicated a desire to speak?
Yeah, Madam Chair, can I just make a comment on?
Of course, Mr. Director.
And Mr. Phillips will go into it in more detail. So first of all, this policy change that we're happy to be able to put into effect can't take place until the board changes the policy. And I'm asking, and I asked one of the other committees, the Finance Committee, we're gonna poll the board for a date on Monday, if we can have a very short special session to do 2 things. 1, swear in the new board member, and number 2, change the policy to allow customers that have arrears to participate in H2O. So we need the board to act before I can officially put that on the website and change those documents. But that hasn't stopped us from already going back and contacting customers that may have been denied because they had arrears. That's already in motion, that's taking place as we speak. It just won't take effect until the board acts. I just want to caution folks that I believe within 3 weeks, now that we've changed the policy, all of the dollars that we have available will be obligated. And so there's only about $2.5 million in the pot right now. As soon as we make this change, we're going to fill up, that list really quickly within 3 weeks, and then we'll be back to looking for additional information. So we will get this information onto the website after the board takes action and we're allowed to make those changes. And I would also encourage Ms. McCullen that if she has the names of any customers right now that need those services, to please let Matt have the names, and we will make sure that their verification is taking place within the next 3 weeks. Thank you, Madam Chair.
That's good information. Good, helpful information for our customers. Okay, anyone else who'd like to speak before the committee?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have 3 additional names. The next hand raised is Gwendolyn Howard. Gwendolyn, you can now, Ms. Howard, she's already unmuted herself. Go for it.
Good afternoon. And I'm sorry for that system failure early. Wi-Fi does what it wants to do. But thank you so much. Again, I was in the GLEWA meeting and was happy to hear Director Brown make that announcement, because like in the original Lifeline program, the issues that we brought before this board from the customers, you guys looked at it and took it into consideration that that maybe if we had so many people calling in, we might need to look at this again. And I'm thinking and hoping that that's what happened with this right here, because that was the bulk of our complaints or our concerns with our customers, that they had an arrearage is why they were seeking benefits. So I also thank Director Brown for clearing up why it's not on the website, because before we pass it on, we knew that we would have this meeting before we had the meeting with our neighborhood people. So to have that information, yes, you can do it. It's not on there. He's waiting for board approval, but that's still good to know. And it's also good to know that you guys are listening to what we're bringing to you, which definitely comes straight from the consumers and our customers in the community. So because Mother Cecily said most of what I could have reiterated on. Thank you so much for listening. And it's good to know that we are being heard. And the question that I wanted to ask in finance, Smalley answered in his presentation. So thank you so very much.
Very welcome, and thank you. Is there anyone else who's indicated a desire to speak?
Yes, Madam Chair. Monica Lewis Patrick is the next person with their hand raised.
Okay. Monica, please join us.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you just fine.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair, and peace and blessings to everyone. I know that normally when we call from We the People of Detroit, we have a laundry list of concerns that we're expressing on behalf of our community, or there are policy needs that we really feel strongly about that need to be addressed. But today I'm calling because I really want to thank customer service. There was a young lady by the name of Miss Valerie, and we will put it in writing. But Miss Valerie went over and beyond as we were trying to take care of our neighbors and our own property on the east side of Detroit. Miss Valerie was so patient with us in terms of explaining the process, where we were in the queue. We were about 10 customers ahead of us, and we were able, through a cooperative process, be able to inform our neighbors, work well with the city, and Miss Valerie was a critical part of that because of the customer service that she rendered. She was kind, she was polite, she was considerate, and she was informative. And she really made a difference in a very difficult day where we were preparing to have people at our facility, and also making sure that our tenants and our neighbors are cared for. So I just wanted to take the time, I'm on my way to another meeting, but to call into this meeting to acknowledge the exceptional customer service that was rendered by Ms. Valerie as we were dealing with our own pipe break in front of our property.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. We certainly want to pass that along. It's always good to hear good reports from our customer service employees, or our service employees.
Madam Chair, I do appreciate the compliments. We're so glad to hear when our folks are doing exceptional work. But I think, I just would like to repeat what I said in the other committee meeting. 78% of our budget is coming from our wholesale rate. And if the advocates that call in on a weekly basis want to have their voices heard at the public hearing for the Great Lakes Water Authority, I know for a fact that they were there last year. And I know for a fact that they had a positive effect on DWSD being able to keep the rates down. And not just DWSD, but the whole region was affected by not only Detroit advocates, but advocates from all over the state. So on February, I believe Matt said 25th, or Istaker said 25th, I think at 1 o'clock, there'll be a public hearing. And if they want their voices heard with regards to rate increases for next year, that would be the opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Director.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
yes, there's still 4 more hands raised. I just want to acknowledge Ms. Patrick that was just on the phone. We appreciate the kind words about our staff members in customer service. It's what we strive for, but it is nice to hear it. I will ensure that I know that Kim Crowell, the customer service manager, is on the line, and we will ensure that Valerie is recognized for her outstanding efforts. Madam Chair, Deborah's iPhone is the next hand raised. Deborah's iPhone, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you. Deborah Taylor, also calling from We the People of Detroit. And I actually am calling to do the same thing, to say thank you to Valerie Richardson and to Norel Hemphill, who initiated the ticket for the flooding over on the east side, and the response that Valerie Richardson provided, and the kindness and the patience was exemplary. So I just want to say that I haven't been able to call in recently as often as I used to, but I'm noticing the recess of one meeting and then going to the other, and I'm thinking that feels confusing, and maybe someone can explain the purpose of that. And then the documents that are being presented here, is there a way for us to access those online after this meeting to help educate ourselves and others about the process for some of, especially the capital infrastructure committee in particular? Seems like those things have to be done in advance, and it's complicated and complex, and we want to.
Okay, I'm going to let staff respond to that. I would say that we try to make our agenda such that we can accomplish all of the business.
D'Amico, I heard D'Amico Williams today ask a question about the cost of the capital improvements, and I'd be happy to hear that information myself. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're very welcome. Do we want to have a response to that, or do we want to wait and defer that to the director's report?
Madam Chair, we can defer to the director's report, but the response overall is that all of the meeting minutes and this agenda with all of the links are in Legistar. I know that might sound a little bit confusing from a technology standpoint, but if you go to the City of Detroit's website and search under the search bar DWSD, and then search for Board of Water Commissioners, you can find links to all the documents, as well as you can, all of these are sessions, these committees are recorded, and you can watch them, you can replay them on YouTube and see all the same information that's presented over again if you want to see it again.
Thank you. I hope that's helpful.
Yep. Madam Chair, we have 2 more hands that are raised. The next one is Miko Williams. Mr. Williams, you can unmute yourself.
Welcome, sir.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, Commissioner Blackman and the commissioners of this committee. D'Amico Williams, Chief Director of Hydrate Detroit. I just want to say kudos. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Finally, for the new year of 2026. We're getting things done and we're working together. This is what community looks like. This is what partnership looks like. I am so elated, you know, whatever I had to say about shutoffs and Lifeline will be in writing. I'm just gonna write from what I heard of the last meeting, which was casually talked about and not made as a concern. I'm sorry, but shutting off water in any form is dangerous to our public health and safety under any circumstances. And you have to, I'm just going to say this, you have more than enough chance to alert the customer by phone, text message, door knock, and by outreach. Wayne, I cannot believe that a door hanger will do anything when a customer is going to fight for their water and they're going to sign up for the Easy Pay and they're going to respond without having their service turned off. I'm still upset from December. It should never happen, even when the Lifeline went out. You know, let me just say this from a director standpoint and also from the consumer standpoint. All of this information, getting on Lifeline, people not being walked through the process. Thank you, Matthew Phillips, for everything you've done. Thank you to the customer service division for everything they've done. But I still feel that consumers that do not have the internet, do not have the phone, but is trying to reach out however way, even if it's 2 years, a year, or even so much as, you know, the water main break, they should be able to connect in a way that is seamless and easy. You know, we just don't want people sitting in their homes and stressing their hair out saying that no one's getting back to them. They're calling 267 8000. They are pressing the buttons. If they're talking to someone or if or somehow, I understand the phones are being answered, but some residents feel they don't have to improve Detroit app. Let's think about it from an outside view and make sure that everybody gets service in a timely manner. That's all I ever wanted. Thank you so much for taking my comment. This is great news to hear finally in public comment. I hope you're happy, Director Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Madam Chair,
Madam
we have,
Chair, may I please? Madam Chair, we need to recess and open up the HR meeting.
Okay, well then we will recess the Customer Service Committee meeting to the call of the chair.
All right, we will now call the Human Resources and Organizational Development Committee to order. Madam Secretary, could we have a roll call, please?
Chairperson Davis,
Present.
Commissioner Blackman,
Present.
Commissioner Garcia.
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. We will now recess to the call of the chair.
Thank you very much, and we will now resume the Customer Service Committee. And I believe we are now ready for the, we have no communications. We have no unfinished business. So what are new?
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir. Or do we?
My apologies for interrupting. But we still have one hand that's is raised in public comment.
I'm sorry. Please, who is that?
It's Narelle Hemphill. Narelle Hemphill is the last individual that has their hand raised.
Attorney Hemphill, please join us.
Peace and blessings again, and good afternoon. Thank you so much for acknowledging my hand. Attorney Narelle Hemphill, calling from We the People of Detroit. I have the pleasure of serving as the Legal and Public Policy Manager. And I just want to echo everything that that we've said here at We the People of Detroit. We are grateful for the changes to the Lifeline policy that are being implemented right now, and the updates. We know that Lifeline H2O plan is a critical resource for our residents, and we will definitely get you those names of folks that we know who have been denied, that are looking for that critical resource. And then also for the water main breaks, as was mentioned, I was the person who called in to report it. The customer service over the phone was great, as well as those persons who were here doing the work, those boots on the ground, if you will. I saw those service workers dredging through mud and all the muck and everything that comes up when they do have to fix those service lines. And they were just very polite, very personable, and very professional. I had a couple questions about the Lifeline H2O plan as we do go back out into community and share this information. Who can we clearly define who is eligible for Lifeline H2O? Is this only previous Lifeline enrollees or are all residential customers eligible? We have had some questions about this, and we just want to clarify so that as we continue to work together to improve this program, we have the correct information. And I will pause there. Thank you again so very much.
Welcome, thank you. And I think that we'll probably cover that information when we have our customer service presentation.
Yep.
Oh, stay with us. Is there anyone else who's indicated a wish to speak before the committee?
Madam Chair, there are no other hands that are raised at this time.
Thank you very much. We will then close public participation. We move on to communications. We have none. Unfinished business, we have none. Now we're down to new business, our customer service presentation.
Madam Chair, thank you very much. And Don, I'm going to take over the screen, and Ms. Crowell.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Blackman and the other commissioners.
Welcome.
There you go. Thank you, Matt. So again, good afternoon. My name is Kimberly Crowell, Customer Service Manager here at the Detroit Water and Sewage Department. And during the month of January, we received over 45,877 calls, and we responded to over 5,800 email inquiries. We had a total of a little bit over 51,700 total customer touch points. That averaged out to be about close to 2,600 contacts per day versus the 1,400 contacts that we are currently budgeted for. In total, with customer service calls, our emails, and our self-service interactions, we had over 134,000 contacts for the month of January. This allowed us to, our customer contact volume, it was over 85% over forecast per day. Next slide. Our average speed of answer for the month of January, we averaged out around 8 minutes, 13 seconds. Our emergency line was at 5 minutes, 11 seconds. This is how quickly we were answering the calls. And our non-emergency line was on average 9 minutes, 23 seconds. Our customer satisfaction score for the month of January was at 81%, and our first call resolution was at 71%. I am still proud to say, and I've been saying it each month, that our customer service satisfaction score, we have exceeded this goal for over 2 years, 29 straight months. And for our calendar year of 2025, we ended our first call resolution. We've exceeded that goal for the 2025 calendar year at 72%. So I'm very proud of the staff.
You should be. Thank you. We are also.
Thank you. So this slide, I would like to demonstrate our 6-month outlook. So our average speed of answer, we did stay under our 15-minute goal. And I would also like to point out that we met several KPIs for the month of January. We continue to stay strong for our average talk time, our average hold time, our after call work. And again, pointing out our first call resolution and our customer satisfaction score. So by us meeting these goals, this pretty much, it lets us know in customer service that we are consistent in our service quality that we're providing to our customers. And if there are no questions, that's all that I have as part of my part of the presentation. And I will turn the rest of the presentation over to Matthew Phillips.
Before we do that, are there any questions on the part of the committee?
Madam Chair, I just had one question. It's just to refresh my memory. When a customer calls in, um, and they have to be placed on hold until someone can get to them, do we let them know, like, approximately how many minutes or how many more people are in the queue ahead of them?
Yes,
So
we do. Oh, I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes, we do, Commissioner Forte. And we also give them the option to receive a call back as well. So if they choose that they do not want to remain on the phone, their call, it's like it goes back into a callback queue. And they will not lose their place in line, and we will call them back with the next available agent.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we're going on to Mr. Phillips.
Yes.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I instead of us flipping back and forth, that concludes the customer service business update, but we do have an item B under new business.
Okay.
And I saved I made a slide for you, so we didn't have to go back to the agenda if you choose not to.
Okay.
But the next item on the agenda is a motion, and it's a resolution to the Lifeline policy. I know we've already heard about it from some of our public comments that have come in, but I don't believe I can read this, but I believe one of the commissioners needs to read this, but I put it up on the screen for you.
Who would like to volunteer to read this?
Oh, I can do that, Madam Chair.
Commissioner Forte.
Yes. Like to
So
have
nice that you can see it, Linda.
it's pretty big. And I appreciate that. Whoever made it gigantic is wonderful.
Yeah.
So on behalf of the Customer Service Committee, I'd like to recommend to the full board, and this is upon the recommendation of Chief of Staff and Chief Customer Service Officer Matthew Phillips, that the Board of Water Commissioners for the City of Detroit Water and Sewerage Department approves to revise the current Lifeline H2O policy, repealing section 6.4.1 of the policy, and approve the City of Detroit Water and Sewerage Department's Lifeline H2O policy V2.2 for water affordability, and authorize the director to take such other actions to any associated or related Lifeline H2O policies as may be necessary to accomplish the intent of this vote.
Support.
Then supported. Now, before we vote on this, I'm going to ask for a English translation of what we just said, so that everyone is on the same page with it.
Madam Chair, I am prepared for your question. So the justification behind this resolution is that repealing this section is because we recognize, as well as what our advocates have brought forward to us as well, is that low-income households in Detroit face financial stress and may accrue a past due balance, preventing eligibility into the program. Repealing this eligibility requirement of having a zero balance in order to enter the Lifeline H2O program ensures that households in the greatest need receive the affordability benefits, which is a $34 bill on Lifeline, and the intent of the Lifeline H2O program. That's the easy version. If I could also provide some background for you all as well, is that the way the policy reads is that in order to qualify for the Lifeline H2O program,
Right.
the account holder must not have a past due balance and must have no program arrearages. And any of those balances must be resolved prior to enrollment. And so I just want to make clear, though, is that accounts who enter the Lifeline program with a balance forward will still be responsible for the balance owing at the end of the program enrollment period. So it is not an arrearage forgiveness program.
Right.
Balances forward at the time of enrollment will be considered as a condition of unenrollment in reference to policy 6.6.1. So the account holder is responsible for making timely H2O payments plus any overages that they accrue during the normal course of the month. And the intent of the policy of 6.6.1 in reference to non-payment or partial payment still remains in effect to compliance and unenrollment. So in other words, the resident or the household that's enrolled in the program still has to make payments, their Lifeline H2O payment and any overages on a monthly basis. They still have to do that. And any rules that apply, which I believe the rules are that state that after 90 days of non-compliance to paying your bill will garnish removal from the program. So those are still in effect. It's just that it allows you to get into the program and receive the Lifeline benefit if you have a prior arrearage coming into the program.
Is there a possibility that someone one month may not have the full amount, but they make it up the next month? Will that still keep them eligible?
It is possible. There are provisions in the policy and in the Lifeline H2O program to allow that to happen. Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Any questions, commissioners?
Madam Chair?
Yes.
It is 3 o'clock. We need to recess and open up the legal committee meeting.
Thank you. We will recess the customer service committee meeting to the call of the chair.
Okay. Okay, the Legal and Government Affairs Committee meeting for the Detroit Board of Water Commissioners will now come to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Chairperson Kinlock,
Present.
Commissioner Blackman. Commissioner Blackman?
Present. Can't hear me?
I can now.
Okay.
Commissioner Einhauser?
Present.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
We will now recess to the call of the chair.
I need my agenda back up, please. Thank you very much. We've had a customer service presentation. We're down. Oh, okay.
Do we need a?
Took it off screen.
Oh, okay, motion. Okay.
We took it off screen. So you need to approve the report. I'm not. The resolution.
Have a question, Madam Chair.
Yes.
I guess my question is, and maybe this is to Matthew. So this is just another tool to help the customers that I can see. Am I correct?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Garcia, the tool is already there and it's been present since November, which is the Lifeline H2O program. This is just repealing one of the policy rules within that program to make it easier for our most vulnerable residents to enter into the program.
And is there, and I guess the question is with the Lifeline, they disconnect them after 30 days or 90 days, Matthew? Do we know, Matt?
Commissioner Garcia, you'd have to be a little bit more specific with your question.
Well, I say if just by incidents that, you get your bill every month. Say some senior goes into the hospital and they've been in rehabilitation for 3 months and somebody forgot to pay the bill because they're not on automatic. They just really have to call and talk to somebody, I would imagine, because
100. Yes, Madam Commissioner Garcia, absolutely. They need to call us and let us know what's going on. But to answer I think I know where you're going with this, but if someone is in the hospital and they're in there for a couple of weeks and they miss their bill after 30 days, we are not turning them off.
Okay.
And they're not excluded from the program. They're not.
No, I didn't think we would turn off the water, but I thought they would be automatically taken off of Lifeline. No, okay. That's my question. Thank you. I appreciate it.
The answer to that also means that someone must contact us. We don't know that they're not able to pay. We don't know their condition. So someone would have to be responsible for contact. And
correct.
We don't have a way when we try to reach out.
What are the elements
Say again?
Of unjust enrichment in Michigan? Period. Include case citations.
Thank you.
Commissioner Einhauser.
Okay, thank you. I hope we cleared it up well enough.
I think it was talking about somebody else, talking to someone else.
Commissioner Einhauser, were you answering the answer for the question that was raised in customer service? I don't think so. Commissioner Einhauser, can you hear me? I think he was answering but we do have provisions. Someone just has to contact us, and we will make every accommodation we can for customers who may not be able to, they're not at home, they're hospitalized or whatever the situation happens to be. Okay?
Yes, Madam Chair, just one last, my request, and I believe that Director Brown has already made the request, but I wasn't sure if he was going to do that, but I do, the last request, or the last item that I have on the H2O resolution is just that the board consider moving this as a formal approval to this resolution at the special session where we swear in our newest commissioner. That hopefully has been suggested for next Monday. Unfortunately, the resolution is there, and I know that you all will, in a moment, take a vote to move it to the formal board, but we cannot officially enact it and take actions on our website and enroll individuals until it's actually approved by the formal board. So the sooner we do that, and the next formal meeting is on the 18th. So as Director Brown has indicated, he would requesting a special session for the full board to meet as early as Monday to make that happen. So that's my only request, and I'll leave it at that. I believe a vote is in order to move it.
To change the date, yes, we need to have a request by a member of this committee to move it to a special session that's going to be called to deal with this issue. Is there a motion?
Do we already have a motion on the floor?
Yeah, this is Scott McGriff.
Yeah.
The formal process that we need to do here is somebody has to motion to amend the pending motion to add to change it to be the special session instead of the formal board meeting. So we need somebody to move to amend the pending motion.
Can the maker and the second amend it? Can they amend that motion to include what was just asked? The maker and the supporter of the motion?
Yes.
Oh, I do move that.
Support.
Properly moved and supported that we amend this to whatever was said that we're going to do.
So
clarify. Yes.
So Matt, can you put your amended motion back up so that they can read it and everybody understands what's being
Yeah. So this is the motion, but the amendment to have that be approved is not included.
Really clear. This is the motion. This is the motion we want to.
It was the motion, yeah.
Is this the motion we make to amend?
No,
we're going
no.
to.
So the motion is the original motion is being amended to include to refer this to the special meeting.
That's correct.
Yeah,
special meeting.
That's it.
Yeah,
that will be called the board of commissioners next the next special meeting. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Been properly moved and supported. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Thank you. We're moving on now to, this is still on the screen. The Lifeline H2O resolution is still on the screen. Okay. All right. We're now the planning calendar. Our next, well, Easy Pay and Lifeline H2O. You've already covered that, haven't you?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Are there any other matters to come before the committee? Hearing none, our next meeting is March 4th, 2026. Chair will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
This meeting stands adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Yeah, stay warm.
Okay, we're not finished, Member Garcia.
Okay, stay
Okay.
warm.
Okay.
All right.
Let me.
We will now reconvene the Human Resources and Organizational Development Committee. Is there a motion to approve today's agenda?
Approval, Mr. Chair.
Support.
There's motion's been
Must
made
a
and
claim
properly
of
supported.
unjust
All in
enrichment.
favor signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed, that motion is carried. That brings us
He
to
specifically
approval of the
pled
minutes of
in the
January
complaint.
13.
Mike, you should Mike, you need to mute your Zoom. Eishauser.
Einhauser. Is that you making that noise, Commissioner Mr. Chair? He's not.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Commissioner Blackman, were you saying something?
I don't think Commissioner Einhauser can hear us. He's not responding. Let's go ahead.
All right. I'm calling for a motion to approve the minutes from January 13th, 2026.
Move approval, Mr. Chair.
Support.
Motion has been made and properly supported. All in favor of the motion signify by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All opposed, and that motion is carried as well. This now brings us to public participation. I don't think that we need to have the preamble read since it's been done several times today. Staff, is there someone who has a hand up and that wishes to participate in public participation?
Mr. Chair, we do have one hand raised at this time. It is Miko Williams. Miko Williams, you may unmute yourself.
All right, Mr. Williams, come forward, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioner Davis. How are you today, sir?
Good afternoon. I am well. Thank you for asking, sir. How are you?
Very good, very good. And good afternoon to members of this body. My name is D'Amico Williams. I am the Chief Director of Hydrate Detroit, located right here. We represent all of the city of Detroit, not just one area, the whole 139 square miles. So we are out here as well, all 7 districts. People know my name, my number, and also they know how to get in touch with me. And I just want to piggyback off the last, I'm doing the happy dance. For the first time in my Black Detroit natural life, I can feel happy and joy again that finally things are turning around. I pray a lot, and I want to thank the Reverend Aaron McCarthy, who passed on to glory 2 years ago, for teaching me how to pray, because it does work. And, I hope you all believe in the power of prayer yourselves. And I pray over this water department. I pray over the members. I pray over our director and different entities, including the men and women who serve this department. I pray that we continue the good work of getting our residents satisfied. We have to provide for the public health and safety of the city and our residents and the taxpayers and stakeholders who are having problems with trust, reliability, and consistency of ensuring that we are able to have clean running water at a price we all can afford to pay. I'm sorry we're all hung up on shutoffs and affordability. But what just happened right now, you take the vote to restore and to recognize affordability. That is awesome. That is what we want to make sure that everybody has the access to pay the bill. And some people could pay, and also we want to make sure that this department stays solvent, because we do owe financial obligations, state and federal wise. So it's very important. I guess for the last remaining, I want to make sure that we have diversity in the city of Detroit, but I want to make sure that we are hiring young men, or young men at least 18 years old to 35 on these jobs, and that they're employed directly with the water department and not indirectly through third-party contractors and subcontractors. There's becoming a problem of who really works for the water department versus the contracts of LGC Global and others that are servicing our pipes and our capital improvement work. It should be 53% Detroiters from that, and I hope that it is in compliance. I guess that's all I have. Thank you so much for taking my comment.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Williams. Are there any other hands?
No other hands are raised at this time.
All right. Thank you. That brings us to communications, in which we have none. We also don't have any unfinished business. Our new business item will be covered by HR Director, Ms. Jones. Ms. Jones, please come forward.
Good afternoon. Please allow me to share my screen. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Awesome. Good afternoon, Tiffany Jones, the HR and Human Resources and Organizational Development Director for DWSD. It's my pleasure to present to you the metrics for January. Before I begin, I do want to state that everyone knows that January has been a rough winter. And many of you may have seen the news about the water main breaks, but you also saw the wonderful press conference that our Director Brown had with our Mayor Sheffield, and in which they acknowledge the hard work of our employees. Many people think of first responders as police officers and firefighters, and rightfully so, but we also think of our field service techs as those frontline people that are working in sub-degree weather, providing clean, fresh water to our residents. So I do want to take the privilege just to acknowledge our hardworking employees. And with that, let's share with you some metrics. So here for the month of January, we have 673 employees. And here are the demographics, the breakdown of our employees. And that is 81% of our employees are Black African American. And you can see with the chart listed, the other demographics. Next, we have Detroit residents. I know Mr. Williams stated about our Detroit residents. We are happy that of those 673 employees, that 54%, over half, are Detroit residents. 310 are non-Detroit residents. And for the month of January, we hired 3 new employees, one of which is a Detroiter, and the other 2 are non-Detroiters. Here we have a breakdown of our
Question, Mr. Chair?
Yes. Ms. Jones, just 1 second for Commissioner Garcia, please.
Yeah, Ms. Jones, when you go back to seeing the breakdown of people that are been hired, and apparently there's like 18 people that are Spanish speaking or Hispanic, I'm not sure, because there's a difference. You can be Hispanic and not Spanish speaking. We are below the average, I think, because I think we make up 10% of the population. So we're not even close to the numbers that we should be at. At least that's what I see. Maybe I'm wrong, but and maybe they're just not applying. I'm not sure what the answer would be, but I thought I asked.
Well, allow me to do a current figuration of that data. I know we have provided that data in the past, so let me provide that at the next meeting so I can give you the most up-to-date recent. We do have employees that leave and some that are hired that may change that rate, so, or that percentage. So allow me to get the most up-to-date figure for you at our next committee meeting.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. These are the counties of our employees. As you can see, majority, 74%, live in Wayne County. Next, we have our employees that are eligible for retirement. We went up a percentage. Usually we stay around 18%. We are now at 19% with 127 people that are eligible for retirement. Which leads us to our very important next
question, Mr. Chair?
Yes, Commissioner Garcia.
Yes, the 127 that you just pointed out, 127 that are eligible because of their age and their years. Am I correct?
That's correct. The combination of age and years.
Years. Okay, so the ones that have 30 years are the largest amount that are eligible for retirement. So they have but they say underneath it says any age.
Correct. That's the year because they have the 30 years of service. So most of our employees have the 30 years of service that are eligible for retirement.
So according to the rules, and I'm not sure how we do it, eligibility for, is it a pension Ms. Jones, is it a pension that they have or a 401k or what is it that, I thought new employees were not pensioned in, but older employees were. Am I correct?
We still have a pension. Even new employees that are hired today, we have a pension. It's just now we have a hybrid, well, a different pension than I think it's
Than they had
started.
30 years ago.
Correct.
Okay, but the ones that have 30 years would be eligible for the older pension plan. Am I correct?
That's correct. They were hired before 2014.
Okay, so is it in 2014 that it changed?
That's
And so
correct.
to get any kind of pension, you must work at least 10 years or 5 years.
Well, to be vested, you have to work 10 years to get your pension. Correct.
Okay.
Under the
All right.
under the
Okay,
hybrid.
so even though the one person that's 65 years of age and has only 8 years, he'll need 2 more years for the full pension.
That's correct. They have to be vested by 10 years. That's correct.
Okay, thank you. That helps. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Moving on, these are the current positions that are open at DWSD. We have 9 open recs, and of those 9 open recs, they account for 17 positions. So these are the classifications that we are currently looking for to recruit and to hire on as new team members.
Question, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Blackman.
So we have only one position for customer service?
Only one?
At this time, that is correct. The only open rec that we have, yes.
And 275 applicants. Is that right?
That is correct.
Whoa, okay. Thank you.
Lastly, in our planning calendar, I wanted to highlight our mid-year reviews. So what we do, I'm sorry. I don't think the last slide was added to the presentation, but do you see the planning calendar or is there anything on your screen?
We see planning calendar.
Okay. Okay, let me quickly, I'll just stop sharing since the slide isn't there and explain what we do for our mid-year evaluations. So unlike our end of the year review, during mid-year, we only concentrate on the employees that if given a rate today would be a 1 or a 2. So they would be below our preferred performance level. So we take this time to develop a plan and to have them meet with their manager to work on a development plan to get them up to a 3 by the year-end performance. So they will be eligible for a merit, because you are only eligible for a merit if you get a 3 and above. So we have successfully completed all the mid-year reviews of the employees that are currently at a 1 or 2. We have worked with them and their manager, and we have a plan in place to hopefully get them up to a 3. So at the end of the season, they will be eligible for a merit increase. So that is what we do during mid-year reviews, and I'm happy to take questions.
Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Blackman.
At what point do they learn that they are not quite meeting the review status for a merit increase?
It's during this time. So we encourage all of our supervisors and managers to meet with their employees on a regular basis. We want it to be consistent and, not just during a standard time, but HR has set a standard that during the mid-year review, so mid-year, before our end of the year, that we meet with all of the managers, talk about their low-performing employees, and set forth the plan to help them for the rest of the year.
I guess my question really is if we see that they're not performing up to par before mid-year, so that they can, at that point where they're actually evaluated, they can possibly improve their performance. Do we do that?
Not as a HR team, but we encourage the supervisors and managers individually to meet monthly with their team members, independent of HR doing a standard mid-year review.
I understand. Thank you.
That concludes the planning calendar for this year, and my report is complete.
Thank you, Director Jones. Very good and comprehensive presentation as always. Are there any other matters to come before our committee today? Hearing none, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move adjournment, Mr. Chair.
Is there a second?
Support?
All right, thank you. Our next meeting is March 4th. We are adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Legal and Government Affairs Committee will now reconvene. We will now proceed to item number 3, approval of the minutes. A motion is in order to approve the meeting minutes from January 13th, 2026.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
you need to approve the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry, agenda. A motion to approve the agenda would be in order.
Approval of the agenda, Mr. Chair.
Is there support?
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the agenda. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. Now we will proceed to approval of the previous meeting minutes of January 13th. A motion is in order.
Mr. Chair, I move that the minutes be approved as presented.
Support.
Been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this item stands approved. Next item on the agenda is item number 5, public participation. As the public participation instructions have been read at earlier meetings, without objection, I will forego the reading of those instructions. And I would like to ask, is there anyone joining us by Zoom or telephone or chat who is asked to address this committee?
Commissioner Kinlock, there is one hand that's raised at the moment. That is Miko Williams.
Good afternoon, Brother Williams.
Good afternoon again, Chairperson Kinlock. How are you today?
Doing fine, thank you.
Good. And thank you for allowing me to speak, and welcome to the members of this board. D'Amico Williams, identifying myself once again as the Chief Director of Hydrate Detroit. I would like to reiterate my question if Director Smalley or Director Brown can answer my inquiry in regards to an allegation made by Detroit City Councilwoman Gabriela Santiago Romero in the Monday and Tuesday sessions of City Council that Southwest Detroit has not been made whole from the flood of last year. There are people still seeking help and also seeking redress with their flooding as regards, and we wanted a status update about Southwest Detroit and where things stand at this moment for clarity and context. There was also a story in the Channel 4 Click on Detroit about a rental property being sold online, and a family was living in that rental property with no running water. And the city of Detroit had to condemn that property for the public health and safety. And my question is, what is the water department's policy in regards to rental properties, and reiterate the process of how landlord and tenants should go about having the water turned on in legal proper name so that the situation doesn't happen. This is in regards to a coastal line rental property, and it listed online, and it had a family living in there in the city of Detroit, had found out that there were no running water, so they vacated the family and found them other. But I know plenty of other families that I've been bringing and voicing about for years in the same situation with no redress. Also, I still would like to get a response from Scott McGriff, the legal counsel, about our 4 clients of Hydrate Detroit that experienced floods. There were 4 older elder ladies, And I really would like for him to get in contact with my partner, Beulah Walker, and provide an update for those 4 residents. We got those in letters and such, but we would like a formal response as to what they can do. And I would implore the director to please make the trip, get your golf clubs, put on your suit, and go down to Mar-a-Lago and go meet with President Donald Trump and get some money for us so that we can continue our efforts here. Thank you so much for taking my comment.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. Next item on the agenda, at this time, public participation is closed. We'll move to item number 6A, receipt of correspondence. At this time, that correspondence is the FOIA report for the month of January. Is there a motion to receive and file?
Yes, Ms. Go ahead.
No, please.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move that we receive and file the FOIA reports for January 2026.
Support.
Been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, this item stands approved. The next item on the agenda is item number 6B 2026-46, receipt of correspondence. Correspondence is the litigation report from the Office of the General Counsel for the month of January 2026. Motion is in order. This is a receive and file to receive and file this item.
So, support.
It's been moved to receive and file the litigation report for the month of January. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this item stands approved.
Chair,
Yes.
I would just ask if council wanted to add anything to the reports that were sent.
Yes. Is there anything, Mr. McGriff, that you would like to add that is not included in the report, or any highlights of that report that you would like to bring, or I guess mention?
Mr. Chair, Scott McGriff, General Counsel, thank you for the opportunity to speak. There's nothing at this time I would like to highlight from this report. But I will let the chair and the committee know that we are in the process of preparing our year-end report and year-end recap that will recap the calendar year 2025, not the fiscal year 2025, to give you an overview, similar as we did last year, to the cases that were presented, the dollars that we've settled, and some ongoing challenges. And we hope that that will be ready for the next committee meeting. That's our plan.
Thank you. Okay, and then I will also like to touch base with you before our next meeting to talk about our work plan.
Very good.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. At this time, did we dispose of that item?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, yes, she just asked afterwards. Okay, at this time, we'll now move to item number 7, unfinished business. There is none. Under new business, there is none. In the planning calendar, that is what Mr. McGriff and I just mentioned that we will discuss prior to the next meeting. We'll now proceed to other matters. I know of no other matters, and we will now proceed to our next meeting, which will be held on March 4th, 2026. At this time, a motion to adjourn is in order.
Adjournment, Mr. Chair.
Is there support?
Second.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this meeting stands adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
That for the day? Are we at the end of all of our calendars?
Yes, we are.
Our committee meetings. Thank you very much.